Good evening, everyone. How are you all? This is your Namit, sir, welcoming you all on Achievers Shastra again. So, from today itself, we are starting the series of CBSE content for class 12. We'll be doing separate series on for 12th, 11th, 10th, and 9th, possibly for lower sections as well. So, from today, we are starting with the first poem, that is My Mother at 66. This is written by Kamla Das, and she has been quite a prominent poet in Indian literary history, and have been, this has been written over here as well, that she has been India's foremost poet, right? Foremost means the one who's right at the top, has been recognized as the top of, as one of the top poets. So this is our first poem for the syllabus that we are going to do. Uh, Now many of the children, they remain, and this has become a fashion lately. The pronunciation of the word, right? Some people say it is poem, but it's not poem, right? Basically, it is poem. Okay, so that is the correct pronunciation. So don't get into these modernized way of pronouncing. Many of the teachers, they teach you like that, but this is the correct pronunciation of doing it. So coming back down to the poem, let's start with the first of it, My Mother at 66, which has been written by Kamla Das. So before hopping on straight to the poem, let's uh, get a little bit of an idea uh, who Kamla Das was, how she has written her poetry, what the background was. Um, इन ऑल ऑफ आवर वीडियोस मैं कोशिश करूंगा कि मैं बायलिंगुअली आपको समझाऊं, कुछ हिंदी में कुछ इंग्लिश में। वो थोड़ा हेल्प करेगा फॉर द स्टूडेंट्स हु आर नॉट वेरी गुड एट अंडरस्टैंडिंग इट, राइट? सभी बच्चे बहुत ज्यादा बिल्कुल इंग्लिश में नहीं समझ पाते. दिस इज नॉट फॉर यू नो students who are there in the convents or in private schools, right? Or English medium schools, especially. I'm making the content for everybody. Somebody who's studying in some Hindi medium school also. तो उनको भी बहुत अच्छे से समझ में आना चाहिए, राइट? सो सबसे पहले हम देखते हैं कमला दास के बारे में एंड हु शी वाज. सो कमला दास was born in Malabar, Kerala in 1934, right? And she is recognized as one of India's foremost poets, as I've already told you, right? Her works are known for their originality, versatility, and the indigenous flavor of the soil. Now, what is indigenous, right? Indigenous basically means that if we look at this entire line over here, like, okay, the indigenous flavor of the soil. So it basically states that वो जो अपनी पोएट्री लिखती थी, they were quite related to, जैसे हम बोलते हैं जमीन से जुड़े रहना, right? Okay, so she always used to write in the flavor of India, right? Okay, and Kamala Das has published many of her novels and short stories in English and Malayalam under the name Madhvi Kuti, right? Some of her works in English include the novel Alphabet of Lust, which was published in 1977, a collection of short stories, Padmavati, The Harlot, and other stories in 1992. तो ये वाला जो उनका collection of short stories आया था, which that was published in 1992. In addition to 5 books of poetry, she is a sensitive writer who captures the complex subtleties of human relationships in lyrical idiom. My Mother at 66 is an example of it. What is lyrical idiom? Basically, a beautiful way of presenting, you know, how would you say, बहुत सुंदर तरीके से ह्यूमन रिलेशनशिप्स को प्रस्तुत करना, बताना. Okay, so My Mother at 66 is a very beautiful presentation or example of it. Yeah. So let's get down to the poem and let's study what she has said, how she has felt what she felt, with what she has compared her mother to. and what kind of a pain she bears and what kind of pain she goes through this entire point, right? So let's get down to it. पढ़ते हैं इसको and then we'll see, right? So she says, driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning. So she was driving. She was in the car along with her mother, and she's going to Cochin airport most probably uh, in on the Friday morning. I saw my mother beside me. So her mother was right beside her. बिल्कुल साथ में गाड़ी में उनकी मदर उनके साथ बैठी हुई है. Right? Doors open mouthed, her face ashen like that of a corpse. अब मदर की बेसिकली ये एक फिजिकल डिस्क्रिप्शन है, जैसे वो दिख रही हैं उस पर्टिकुलर पोजीशन में सोते हुए. सो शी इज डोज मीन्स एक बेहोशी की कंडीशन, और सो रही हैं वो लेकिन लग रही हैं दैट वो बेहोश हैं. ओपन माउथेड, उनका मुंह खुला हुआ है उस टाइम पर. हर फेस एशन लाइक दैट ऑफ अ कॉप्स. व्हाट इज अ कॉप्स? इज अ कॉप्स, कॉप्स इज अ डेड बॉडी, राइट? कॉप्स इज अ डेड बॉडी. And she has compared her mother's face. She has compared her mother's face to a dead body, right? Her face was ashen like. Okay. Now, what is ash? Raak, okay, which has no beauty about it. Right? It is quite dull. It has no energy about itself. So she has compared her face to ash. She says her face was like ash, and she has compared her face to a corpse, a dead body. She was looking like a dead body, right? There was no life in a body at that time. ऐसा लग रहा था उनको दूर से देखने में अपनी मदर को, जब वो साथ में बैठी हुई है और एंड शी इज लुकिंग एट हर, राइट? तो that kind of feeling came to her as soon as she looked at her mother, and realized with pain that she was as old as she looked. हम लोग जब भी बहुत छोटे होते हैं तो हम लोग ऑलरेडी स्टार्टिंग से देखते हैं हमारे पेरेंट्स बड़े होते हैं बचपन से, राइट? दैट्स वाई वो पेरेंट्स होते हैं. एंड विद आर ग्रोइंग टाइम, विद आर ग्रोइंग एज, हमें रियलाइज ही नहीं होता कि हम तो बड़े हो रहे हैं, साथ में हमारे पेरेंट्स भी बहुत बड़े हो रहे हैं, राइट? उनकी भी एज एवरी ईयर एवरी डे दे आर एजिंग. सो एट अ लेटर टाइम, जब वो सीरियसली बूढ़े से दिखने लगते हैं, तब हम इस चीज को रियलाइज करते हैं कि हाँ, वो लोग बहुत ज्यादा एज के हो गए हैं. बिकॉज वो जो टाइम होता है ना, व्हेन एनी पर्टिकुलर ह्यूमन बीइंग इज बिटवीन 30 to 54 55, तो बहुत ज्यादा चेंजेस नहीं आते हैं हमें फिजिकली, राइट? थोड़े बहुत आते हैं. थोड़े से हम हैवी हो जाता है फेस. बहुत ज्यादा ऐसे बाल कोई वाइट नहीं होते, हम लोग कोई बूढ़े नहीं होते, राइट? तो वो 20 25 ईयर्स जब तक बच्चे हम बड़े हो जाते हैं, तब तक हमें बहुत ज्यादा डिफरेंस नहीं लगता. बट सडनली एज सुन एज दे क्रॉस दैट मार्क ऑफ 60, व्हाट हैपेंस इज उनके बाल सफेद हो जाते हैं. दे स्टार्ट गेटिंग लीनर, एंड it is a stark contrast to what they used to look about 10 years back. तो हमें realization होता है that they have really grown old, right? But this is not what I'm trying to tell you here. She's talking about a pain, right? She has said that, and realized with pain that she was as old as she looked. What is this pain all about? The pain of separation, right? The pain of losing her mother. Why she is thinking about losing her mother? Because her mother is old, right? And in a human life, if you're born, you will die one day, right? And that happens with time, with age, right? So as soon as you tend to see your parents getting old, that means uh, the sun is about to, go down on their life. So uh, and that is a sinking feeling for any particular child. सबके लिए बहुत बहुत दुख लगता है एक बच्चे को इतना सोचने में भी कि शायद कुछ टाइम में उनके पेरेंट्स उनके साथ नहीं रहेंगे. बट शी थॉट अबाउट दिस as soon as she looked at her mother. जैसे ही देखा उन्होंने अपनी मदर को, उनको ये पेन रियलाइज हुआ, right? But soon put that thought away and looked out at young trees sprinting. So she soon put that thought away. Now, why she put that thought away? Because जब भी हमारे दिमाग में हमारे फैमिली को लेकर कुछ भी खराब ख्याल आता है, वो किसी के भी दिमाग में आ सकता है, राइट? सो व्हाट डू वी डू इज वी शेक इट ऑफ, वी हमारा मन करता है एकदम से निकालो इसको दिमाग से, राइट? वी शेक इट ऑफ, वी शेक इट ऑफ, वी शेक इट ऑफ, तभी की तभी कुछ और सोचते हैं, कुछ और सोचते हैं, राइट? तो शी डिड द सेम. जैसे ही उनके दिमाग में ये ख्याल आया दैट शी इज गोइंग टू लूज अ मदर, तो शी थॉट ओके ओके लेट्स थिंक अबाउट समथिंग एल्स. बाहर देखते हैं, कार के बाहर देखते हैं. सो व्हाट डिड शी सी आउटसाइड? Looked out at young trees sprinting. There was young trees. The trees are called as young now, and they were sprinting basically. So here the poetic device which has been used is personification, because the trees have been shown sprinting. Here, I've forgotten to tell you that when she compared her mother's face with the corpse, right, with the use of light, simile was there. So here personification has been used and a contrast also. In this particular contrast, she was seeing the end of life, right, the old age, near death scenario inside the car. And as soon as she looked outside, she saw the trees, right, and they were young. Her mother was old. Mother was old, the trees are young. A straight contrast, right? Mother had no energy. She was sleeping. The trees are sprinting. Okay, again, another contrast here. The merry children spilling out their homes. Again, the mother represents the end of life. Children represents the beginning of it. Again, another contrast here, right? And they are merry, they are happy. But Kamala Das is sad. Again, contrast of life and death is there. Clear? So, the children are merry, they are spilling out of their homes, they are playing inside the car. The situation, the picture is completely opposite. Bilkul different picture hai dono. But after the airport security check, standing a few yards away, I looked again at her, wan, pale, as a late winter's moon. So, after they did the security check, she was standing a few yards away, right? She was about to say goodbye to her mother. थोड़ी सी दूर खड़ी है वो और देख रही है अपनी अपनी मदर को. She was looking dull, she was looking wan, she was looking pale. Pale means जैसे हमारे बॉडी में कभी खून की कमी हो जाती है तो हम पीले पड़ जाते हैं, राइट? तो जो बूढ़े लोग होते हैं, अगर आप उनको देखोगे तो उनकी स्किन आपको येलोइश लगेगी, राइट? वो एक निशानी होती है उनकी एजिंग की, राइट? सो how is she looking? She is looking as a late winter's moon. She looked like a late winter's moon. Again, simile has been used because the use of as is there. Now, this particular phrase, the late winter's moon, this is one of the most important lines in this particular poem, right? And a question definitely comes in on this, right? Why has the mother's face been compared to late winter's moon? Or why the mother being compared to late winter's moon, right? So why was she compared to late winter's moon? Because she was looking dull, just as the winter's moon. There's no sheen, no shine over her face. Uh, the winter's moon is all covered in fog. Nobody wants to witness it. It does not look beautiful at all. Similarly, the mother is not looking beautiful at all. She has lost her charm, just like the moon, which loses its charm when it is in winter's time. Uh, the mother uh, has no brightness on her face, similar to the moon, which is when compared to the fog and the clouds in the winters, uh, does not look beautiful at all. There is no energy about it, right? So that's why the mother has been compared to late winter's moon. इसीलिए उनका जो comparison है वो winter के moon से किया गया है, right? Okay. And felt that old familiar ache. Now ache means pain, right? उनको एकदम से वो familiar सा एक एक जाना पहचाना सा दर्द हुआ उनके दिल में, राइट? माई चाइल्डहुड फियर। अब बच्चे का क्या फियर होता है, एक छोटे बच्चे के अंदर क्या फियर होता है? एक छोटे बच्चे के अंदर एक ही फियर होता है, एंड दैट इज टू बी सेपरेटेड फ्रॉम हिज और हर मदर। अंडरस्टूड? एक छोटा बच्चा सिर्फ एक ही चीज से डरता है, और वो क्या है? वो है सेपरेशन अपनी मदर से। एंड कमला दास इस टाइम उसी उसी दर्द को फील कर रही है, राइट? शी इज फीलिंग दैट, एंड शी रिमेम्बर्ड फ्रॉम हर चाइल्डहुड कि, और हम सबके साथ ऐसा होता है जब भी हम बहुत छोटे होते हैं एंड हमारी मम्मा हमसे दूर हो जाती है, तो हम वो ज्यादा देर बर्दाश्त नहीं कर सकते एंड वी स्टार्ट क्राइंग, राइट? तो शी वाज सीइंग दैट व्हाट इज हैपनिंग and what is to happen in some time, right? But again, she's not showing it on top, right? She was feeling the pain inside her. But all I said was, see you soon, Amma. All I did was smile and smile and smile. So, first of all, in the last line, there is a repetition of the word smile. So, that is the poetic device used here. And then, all she said was, see you soon, Amma. Why she said this? उन्होंने क्यों कहा ऐसा? क्योंकि ना चाहते हुए भी वो एक होप अपने मन में डेफिनेटली रखना चाहती हैं दैट वो अपनी मम्मा से दोबारा से मिलेंगी, राइट? And why was she smiling? She was smiling at top because she does not want to show her mother that she was in pain, in severe pain inside, right? तो कोई भी माँ नहीं चाहेगी कि उसका बच्चा परेशान होकर कहीं जाए, और फिर माँ फिर खुश नहीं रह सकती है, राइट? सो दैट इज वाई शी वॉज नॉट शोइंग एट ऑल दैट she was upset, she was sad, she was in pain of thinking about the separation that she'll be meeting in few years time. उनको नहीं पता कि वो अपनी मम्मा से दोबारा मिल पाएंगी या नहीं, right? So this is your entire poem. There were few poetic devices. One is here, right in the last line, where it says smile, smile, and smile, and this is repetition. We have simile over here when her mother was compared to the late winter's moon, right? And then we again have simile here where she compares her face to the corpse. And when here we see the contrast, we see the trees sprinting, we see the merry children, spilling out of their homes. Now, tree sprinting, it is personification, right, children? So this was your entire poem. If you'll be having any doubts, you may write in the comments, and you may ask the questions on the comments also. So thank you so much all. Have a wonderful time. God bless you all.